Hi, this is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. I had just a few minutes tonight that I could come in my house all by myself. Nobody's in here but me. So I thought I would just do the camera inside tonight. I've just been working hard the last few nights on a layout for my garden. I'm going back and forth with different things. I'm having to tweak it for different reasons. And it's fun to me. I enjoy doing things like that. I have a Corel Draw program, and I get on there and kind of use all the tools and lay it out. I can put if it's a carrot bed, I can put the carrot bed in orange and different things like that. As I said before, I'm kind of a visual person. So I like to do things like that, to lay them out to where I can see them, even just one-dimensionally, to where I can see them and visualize myself walking through the garden and just starting to get to know it even before I plant anything in the spring. I just want to know ahead of time my path, where I'm going with this garden. I'm balancing a lot of things though, and that's what I was going to talk about tonight. I'm balancing a lot of things in my mind, and sometimes I kind of overwork my mind, maybe overthink things. That's just my personality, so I'm accepting it and just going with it right now. I'm having to think a lot about selling produce, which of course is my goal. I formed the business Camp Joy Farms, and I do want to sell produce. I'm already having a lot of excitement just from people I know, that are wanting to come up here and see what I have and buy and things like that. And that's exciting. It puts a little pressure because, no one wants to start out on an endeavor and fail. So when you're just gardening for yourself to put up food for your family, if you don't have a crop of this bean, but you do have a crop of a couple of other beans or something like that, it all balances out. Hopefully you'll still have enough to put up some quarts and pints of things you like. And so there's not a lot of pressure there. It's more relaxing and just fun. The minute you decide you want to start selling things or talking about that on YouTube, it does put some pressure on you. So I guess I've been maybe overthinking a little bit too much lately. And I'm trying to just back away a little bit and relax and try again to stay in my lane and figure out what it is that's best for me, what will work for me and my family. And I think I've come up with, a strategy for my 3 garden plots that'll work for me. And I'm excited about it. I'm going to have a lot of tomatoes. I'm going to have just one big long row of carrots. I'm going to succession plant some carrots in there, different varieties, but just contain it to one area. I've decided to just have one long row right by the carrots, a really long row, about it'll be about 80 feet, I think. That is Little Marvel English peas. I love growing those. Those were very productive for me last year. Now, it takes a lot of square footage of English peas to really have enough to sell, but I think I'm just going to go with that one row right now. It's not really important if I have a lot of English peas to sell. I do want a little for ourselves, but what I'm going to do is just shell them and sell them in frozen in quart bags. That's what I'm going to do, and I think the reason I'm talking about the peas is because I think that is helping me kind of decide my selling model. A lot of these things have to be thought out so far in advance so that it goes a little smoother when you do start having the product come in. And I think the more I'm evolving into this, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm doing my garden plans and all, I think it is going to be a lot of having fresh product that I process and shell and put in bags and things like that, and having those stable, shelf ready in the freezer for people to buy from me that come up here. I still will probably have things that I'm going to do a little roadside stand with near our property, but that will be separate. That will be just for the general public. But for a lot of people that have just told me, if you grow things, we will come by them because we want fresh produce and things like that. For those kind of customers of mine that are really good friends and family that already come up to my house anyway, I do want to have things available that are frozen in the freezer. Or I can let them know in a timely manner when I'm going to be having things like fresh corn and things like that, and give people that I know the first shot at buying it. I think when you're thinking about profits and you're thinking about things like that, it's just so much easier to sell it as directly as possible to people, and to not have all day invested in going and sitting by the road, or all day invested in going to a fruit stand or something like that. Don't get me wrong, there's tons of traffic at produce stands and things like that. But as I've told you before, that's really not an option for me to go and do a situation like that where I rent a spot and I'm committed to that spot every Saturday. I just can't work that out with my husband or anything. So working at a little stand at the end of our road might do fine. If we need to shut that down and come back to the house, we can. But I also don't want to 100% depend on that. If I can kind of get a little customer base established and sell things directly from my garden, maybe to the freezer, maybe not, depending on what it is, straight to the customer, without investing a lot of my time and gas and leaving my house, for our situation right now, that would be the best for me. I know that a lot of people have so much success selling at farmers markets and things like that. I do, and I know that that might be something eventually that I'm able to do. It's just not right now. So that's something that goes through my mind all the time. As I look at something I want to plant, I have to think to myself, okay, when this comes out of the garden, what's involved? You know, you want to grow everything, and I have lots of seeds that I want to try. You want to grow everything, but I have to think to myself, how is this going to be processed afterwards? Can it go in a freezer? Things like lettuces, you know, they have to come out of the garden and go to the customer pretty quick. You can't process lettuce for your home, for your own pantry in a pressure canner. You know, that doesn't work. And you can't really freeze it. So when you grow things like lettuces and all, you have to have a plan in place to where you can let people know, hey, I've got a lot of lettuce this weekend. Anybody want to come up? I've got lettuce, I've got carrots, I've got radishes, you know, whatever, to let people come up and have first dibs. And then if I see that I have tons left over, or that I have products that I can't put in the freezer that need to be sold quickly, then I can maybe do my little roadside stand at the end of the road. It's just a way I'm trying to process all this and think about it and work it out and find what best works for us. To that end, that I might use my freezer space that I have in my outdoor shed area. And it's a nice little shed. It's comfortable for people to go in. It's comfortable for me to go out there and work with a customer if they come by or whatever. To that end, a lot of the things I'm choosing to grow are going to be things that might be able to be put in the freezer. Not everything, but say cowpeas, black-eyed peas, purple hull peas. Things like that are very popular in the South. I would love to do things like that, just, you know, to have an offering of black-eyed peas, purple hull peas, cream peas, zipper cream peas, you know, just all the different types of cowpeas that I can grow. And those seeds are accessible to me. It's things that we grow in the South, and all of our co-ops sell those seeds for cowpeas and things like that. So it's very popular. I would like to grow those and have fresh ones that people can come buy from me. Also, I'm gonna focus a lot on tomatoes. I mean, I love tomatoes, and I love to think about and to see the stories of the seeds and grow heirlooms and things like that. I'm new to it. I'm not an expert. I'm new to it. And I'm kind of taking some chances because I'm going to be starting some seeds this year in little containers with grow lights and things like that, starting them from seed. And I'm going to grow them out about 7 weeks before I'm able to put them out here in South Louisiana. And, you know, I'm taking a chance on my newness of doing that and my inexperience in doing that, but I'm going to give it a shot. You do not learn unless you try, so I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm excited to do that because I'm going to be able to grow a lot of varieties I could not get if I went and bought, even using my commercial business name and getting a discount. You know, I don't want to go buy what's available at the nurseries around here because they do not carry all the different brands that I can procure from the seed companies around the country. They sell a lot of popular local brands, which people can get even at our supermarkets. Even our supermarkets will sell these popular local brands sometimes. So I'm going to try to grow some things that they just can't get at a supermarket, like a Cherokee Purple, an Italian heirloom tomato, things like that that I know for a fact, because I'm a shopper, that you cannot go to any local grocery store or supermarket around here and pick up. So I'm gonna try. We're gonna see how it goes. I love growing cherry tomatoes, so I'm gonna have a lot of those put in the ground. I'll start the plants from seeds, just like my tomato plants. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to do a lot of peppers this year. I don't have a lot of experience growing peppers either, but there are a lot of beautiful peppers. That's another thing. You can go anywhere around here at any time, and buy poblanos and jalapeno peppers. Long cayenne peppers are really popular here. So I'm not going to focus entirely on anything like that. I'm going to try to grow some Marconi peppers, some cubanelles, and things like that that are a little bit different, but that I know people around here would eat and would really like. So a lot of pepper plants. I'm going to start those from seed as well. I can always ditch everything if I have to and go to the nurseries and get me some plant starts, should I not have luck doing the seed starts. But I'm going to try it before I do that. I'm going to try it. And I think it'll be fine. Last year, I just stuck seeds in the ground and grew tomato plants out of it. So if I can do that, I feel like I can do the seed starts in the seed trays. We're going to give it a shot anyway. So a lot of different things like that I want to grow. And my corn. I'm looking so forward to growing my corn this year. I just love growing corn. And I'm going to have the Mosby Prolific. I'm going to have the candy corn, which, as I've said in my corn video, what's good about it is it will hold on the stalk for 2 weeks when it gets ready. So if I'm in a big bind to pick beans or cowpeas or things like that, my corn will hold on the stalk for up to 2 weeks. So that helps a whole lot. And I'm also going to grow a heirloom variety from out of South Carolina called John Hawk corn. It's supposed to grow about 15 feet tall. We'll see how that goes. I'm just so happy and looking forward to it. It is giving me something to think about. That's just my nature, especially in stressful situations. I have to keep my hands busy. I have to keep my mind busy so that I don't start getting a lot of anxiety. And our situation with my husband, he's stable. He is stable, but he's improved about as much as he's going to improve. And there's still just so much that he cannot do and that I have to help him with or do for him. And so anytime you kind of lose your freedom of movement, I guess that's why a lot of new moms can go stir crazy sometimes with just being home with the baby all the time, because when you're used to just moving about and being able to jump in your car and go here or go there, it gives you a little anxiety when those days are kind of over, for a while. And right now, just to get up, get ready, and get going and get our day started can take a while sometimes. And so I love the fact that God has given me the interest in the last few years before I even realized why he was giving me this interest and this opportunity. He's given me the interest, in gardening and now in turning it into a business, because it helps occupy my mind. It helps keep my hands busy. During another part of our life, when we went through something terrible, I started building furniture, and I learned to build furniture. I taught myself how to build tables and coffee tables, hutches. I built bookshelves. I can't even tell you what all I built, but it kept my hands busy. It kept my mind occupied so that I didn't slide into sadness and depression. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this. And it's given me great joy, and it's given me a lot of focus. So if I get on here sometimes and just chit chat with you and talk about things like that and talk about my garden planning and things like that, that's what I'm kind of doing. I'm just working things through my mind. Sometimes once you speak about something and you talk about it, you start realizing, oh, this is what I need to do because I've discussed it and I've talked about it. So it feels good sometimes to kind of jump on the camera and just discuss things. So anyway, I'm fixing to cook supper. I look for the door to be open at any time for my son to come home. I look for the walkie-talkie that's a part of my life for my husband to beat me in a little while to tell me he's ready to come in. He's riding the four-wheeler right now. So right now I have this little bit of time, so I thought I would jump on here and speak to you. I'm fixing to do some salmon croquette for supper, and also, I just love it, green beans that I canned from last year. These were, I put up in May of 20. It's tender green beans. I just grabbed some jars off my shelf. I didn't even realize they were different ones. But these are Black Valentine beans from May of 2020. I've been trying to kind of use up things from 2019, and now I'm kind of working into 2020 because I have a lot that I put up in 2021, and I'm anticipating being able to put up a good bit in 2022. So I kind of want to go ahead and get the 19 things out of the way, go ahead and work into my 2020 vegetables. And, you know, at the same time, being mindful that I need to keep a lot in my pantry and keep a lot put back. So, you know, that's what gardening's good for as well. If my sales aren't what I think they are, I just eat it. You know, if something grows and it doesn't sell, or I don't sell all of them, that's supper for our family. I can preserve it. I can pressure can, I can freeze it, you know, or we can just have fresh suppers at night. So I'm not worried about that end of it. The sales and all aren't driving me crazy. Just trying to get organized ahead of time, because my time is so limited as to, you know, when it hits, when the garden's in the ground, when the vegetables start hitting. I don't have hours a day to start all of a sudden realizing these things and running to the store to get this and this and this. I need to be thinking about it now. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is think about everything from what are you going to bag it in? Do you have a little calculator to put out in the shed? You know, everything, just little plastic bags for lettuce, things like that. So anyway, my mind's going. I love talking to you. I hope you subscribe to my channel. My name is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.